All right, hello and welcome to the walkthrough of Surfboard by Kowabunga Studios. I'm Dylan, founder and creator of it. I'm an electrical engineer, and in this walkthrough, we're going to show you how Surfboard works and really the value and time savings of it. So we've got Surfboard downloaded here, and we're looking at a 40,000 square foot office building. There's some hanging lights in there from the architectural model. But other than that, it's a blank model. We'll go ahead here and look at ceiling plan and a floor plan. As you can see, there's no devices in this model. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and run Surfboard. So we'll look at the light fixtures first, go to our default model, and in here we can pick any different type of light fixture that we want. We'll go ahead and choose these guys first. Then we'll look at our coefficient of utilizations. You'll get these from your fixture cut sheet and go to the reflectance values, and then from the 0 to 10 value, you'll input these numbers so that you can make sure that the reflectance values are correct and the light fixture calculations come out properly. So simple things, our fixture lumens, our default foot candles, we're just going to leave that at 40, and then our default work plane height. So we'll go ahead and accept all those changes. We're going to select all of the rooms here, and for a few of these, we'll put 20-foot candles in the corridors. Most everything else is pretty straightforward. And you'll notice there's a few rooms that were not selected when I hit select all. That's because Revit, for whatever reason, doesn't recognize the ceiling height, so it defaults to 0. We don't want any lights being put in those rooms. So we'll go ahead and turn that off. I'll change these. And actually, we'll pick a different fixture here. We'll pick a round downlight. Let me go to a Revit families and go to a round downlight here. Say it's 1500 lumens. We'll save that, and then we could update our lumens values or our coefficient utilization values there, but we'll go ahead and leave that the same. So we'll update these restrooms as well. Downlight round 1500 lumens, update, and then we'll do the same thing here in the women's restroom. All right, so just short and sweet for lights. We'll jump over to receptacles now. So we'll go to our default menu, and this is really just to load in the families. Select everything. And one of the things that we're going to do is in the instruction rooms, we're going to do this perimeter spacing. So let's say we want 4 feet from the door and then 8 feet on center around the rest of the room. You might want something different for yours, but for now, we'll go ahead with that. For dry storage, we'll do 6 inches from the door. And for our restrooms, change these to GFCIs and 6 inches from the door. We'll uncheck stairs. We'll add storage. And then we'll add a GFCI here and a GFCI here. So that'll give us a few things to look at. And we'll look. So those are the 3 spacing criteria. Number per wall, so this will just put 1 receptacle dead center on each wall. And actually, let's in the cafeteria, say 2 walls, and you can see that there's 2 line items for cafeteria because one is spelled incorrectly. There's cafeteria and there's the cafeteria. So you can see that there's 2 different line items for that just because the spaces were named differently. We'll jump over here to switches, and this just puts a switch 6 inches from the door. We'll select everything and then uncheck the corridor. We don't want any switches on the corridor side, and if that's what we selected, that's what we would get. So we'll unselect those, we'll unselect the stair, unselect vestibule, and I think that is all. So we'll go ahead and run everything. We'll run all 3 instances here, the lights, the receptacles, and the switches. And then you can see this is all in real time, how quickly all these devices are populated. And in a second here, you'll see how many devices are actually populated through the model. This is going to save you a tremendous amount of time in populating all these devices. And remember, this is a 40,000 square foot building, and it's going to take about a minute here to run through. It's going to do all the calculations in the background for the light fixtures. It's going to place all the receptacles per our spacing criteria, and then it's going to put light switches next to the doors. So very straightforward, very simple features, and allows you to go through a model very quickly. So you can see we populated just over 1,000 devices in about a minute. So this gives you a great idea of what it can do. And there's a few fixture locations that weren't found, and we'll go ahead and look at these. So here's our instruction room, and we can see here that, so we did our 4 feet from the door, 8 feet on center, and then this is a curtain wall, so it's going to skip those, but then you can see that these are, 8 feet on center. If I can move this section here. And then again, 8 feet on center. We have our light switches by the doors, our multiple outlets in each room. These are all instruction rooms. And then if we go up to our cafeteria, you can see 2 outlets per wall. This is all glazing, so it skips those. Glazing on the outside, so 2 outlets here, 2 outlets here, 2 outlets here for our cafeteria. And then everything else had 1 receptacle per wall. There's a restroom here, so 1 GFCI. So there's the outlets and the switches. And then if we go to our ceiling plan, you can see our light fixtures being placed throughout the model. And if we go, and here's our can lights. And then if we look at these, so we want to be able to place these fixtures in the grid. Just grabbed everything, move them over to where we want them sitting in the grid. So there you have it, 1,000 devices in about a minute. And then there's just a little bit of cleanup and grabbing the fixtures and setting them into the grid. So very straightforward, very easy, and will save you a ton of time.